What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Lay of Game, episode 135. This is your average man's perspective on football. I am your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Whoa!
We're getting excited.
Not fired, Marcus.
Right.
You're back. Keep your job.
Let's see if we makes it through the whole show.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
Somebody turn the damn phone off.
Easy.
And
That's all I get. Wait, that is not mine.
We switching up. Look, we gotta be happy with what we got.
Okay, got you.
You
should have did me first, so I could be disappointed second.
And last but never least, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
And me, I'm 56 years old. Damn.
So everybody get this, but okay, I see now. It's because I made fun of the beard. I get it.
Whatever. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook in our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're on Twitter at The Live Game 3 and on Instagram at The Official Delay of Game. So week 2 is in the books. We got a couple of 2-0 teams. We got a couple of 0-2 teams. We got some teams in the middle. But overall, there's some good games this week. And who is hosting tonight? We did not clear that up.
I am.
Mark is hosting tonight, so go ahead and start us off, Mark.
Thank you so very much, Marcus. Welcome to our show. This particular show, we're going to talk about some NFL news, get into some hot topics, review our game picks from last week, and pick the games for the next following week. And then we're going to end the show with our final thoughts. So right now, we're going to start off the news of the NFL, and we're going to start this off back with you, Marcus. Take it back to you.
Via NFL.com, Ron, Cleveland Browns running back Nick considered one of the premier backs in the league, suffered a grisly knee injury on Monday, in Monday night's loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers that is expected to end his season, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported. Chubb is believed to have torn multiple ligaments, Rappaport reported. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski confirmed on Monday night that he anticipated Chubb being lost for the season, and Cleveland officially placed Chubb on injured reserve today. What's that going on? What are we doing all that for?
Nothing.
No reason.
When it finally, y'all little smug dudes, when it finally comes to an end, it's going to be so much more satisfying.
Also, part of that, too, is that the Cleveland Browns did re-sign Kareem Hunt, too. They finally did that today also.
I didn't realize no team had signed him yet. That's
Yeah, he was unrestricted free
He
agent.
had a chance to sign with somebody, and then he left. Remember to go.
I think it was Kansas City, wasn't it? What was it? Kansas City?
No, I think it was the Jets before. I think it was the Jets or somebody.
And then he went to Miami thinking he was going to get more money, and then that didn't work out. So he wound up. Yeah, that's why he was still on the streets.
Okay. All right. Our next news story. Take it away, Herman.
All right. So on the running back tip again, the NFL has filed a grievance against the NFL Players Association, alleging that the union leaders, including President J.C. Treater, have advised running backs to, quote, consider feigning or exaggerating injuries to help increase their leverage in contract negotiations. The grievance was filed on September 11th and will be reviewed by an arbitrator. Any player who took the union's advice and faked an injury would be found to have violated the collective bargaining agreement. So this whole running back thing is not going away.
I wanted that has to do with the Colts running back. Where first he was injured, then he said he wasn't injured, but then I guess that was the team trying to say he had a back injury. So I guess
the team said he had the back injury. He said he did.
So it's different.
That was just an ugly situation with them.
Yeah.
All right, next news story, Brian. Let's hear it.
All right. And again, on the running back tip, the Rams have trade talks centered around Akers, reported on Monday. Less than 24 hours after Akers spent Los Angeles Week 2 loss to the 49ers as a healthy scratch. Akers was inactive for the game following which was characterized as a difficult week of practice. leaving him in an uncertain standing with the Rams coach's decision. Felt like it was the best for our team, McVay said after Sunday's game. Felt like Kyron gave us the best opportunity and what Ronnie Rivers and Royce Freeman had done. So it was the decision that I made. So good luck to you, Akers. I mean, we know last year there was a problem with this situation going on. And I guess it just continued to the point where now they got him on the trade block.
Well, he's been traded.
He just signed with the Vikings today.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Okay. A little later on. Yep. So I think that's going to be a good spot for him.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a real good spot for him.
Yeah. It is. Because the Vikings are pretty much dead last in rushing right now without having Cook from last year, and the two backs they got are not getting it done. And plus, if you seen the kid last week scored 2 touchdowns, he made his exit real good. He made it. You know, the writing was on the wall for him because Williams scored 2 touchdowns. All right, so we got the last story we're gonna do is about the Chicago Bears defensive coordinator Alan Williams resigned from his post on Wednesday. The team announced Williams had been away from the team on personal matter and said in a short statement that he would be taking a step back to take care of my health and family. Williams, 53, was in his second season with the Bears as a team's defensive coordinator. He had been a defensive assistant coach in the league for more than 2 decades, working with the Buccaneers, the Vikings, the Colts, and the Lions. So this is a kind of sad story for a young black assistant coach, but I got a feeling some more stuff is going to come out of it.
53 is young for a coach.
He's young, right. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for explaining that to me. Somebody can't understand what young is. You good, Marcus?
I'm good. 53 and young.
He ain't good. He's over there drinking vodka out of a bottle.
I don't drink, sir. I'm not alcoholic like you.
That looked like a vodka bottle to me. So
it wasn't. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's lemonade, sugar-free lemonade. Okay.
With vodka in it.
No.
Vodka lemonade.
Whatever. Move on, Mark. Let's move on.
Taking this show back. Let's move on. We're going to talk about some hot topics right now. The first hot topic we have is so I get it in place here.
Supposed to have it in place for the show, bro.
Teleprompter is teleprompter, bro.
What's the? It's coming. Okay.
Which
of the 0-2 teams do you think would most likely make the playoffs in reverse? Which 2-0 teams do you think feel that most likely will miss the playoffs? Marcus, I'll let you start it off. First of all, do you know which teams are 2-0 first?
Yes, I actually have it here right in front of me.
Okay.
Why don't you read them off real quick, Marcus?
First. Aren't you starting with
the 2-0 team? Well, I start with the 0-2 teams. That's what I'm starting. Yeah. So the 0-2 teams are the Arizona Cardinals, the Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears, Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos, Houston Texans, LA Chargers, Minnesota Vikings, and New England Patriots. And the 2-0 teams are the Atlanta Falcons, Baltimore Ravens, Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins, New Orleans Saints, Philadelphia Eagles, 49ers, Buccaneers, and Commanders. That's actually quite a bit.
So who's going from the bottom up to the top?
So I think the team most likely to make the playoffs, who is 0-2, and I'm saying this because they did the exact same thing last year, will be the Cincinnati Bengals. They started 0-2 last year and made it to the AFC Championship. And I feel like deep down, they're just too good of a team not to make the playoffs unless Joe Burrow's out for an extended period of time. Now, if Joe Burrow's out for an extended period of time, which they say it might be happening, then they might not make it. But if Joe Burrow can play, I feel like the offense is just too good. They got too many weapons. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, what's the other dude? Boyd. They're a good team. And this, before the season started, everyone it was pretty much the consensus they were one of the best teams in the league, and he was the number 2 quarterback in the league behind Mahomes. So like I said, it's rough to start off 0-2 2 years in a row. They're pushing their luck this year, but they did it last year. I don't see why they couldn't do it this year. So I'm going to have to go with the Bengals as the 0-2 team. Now, as far as the 2-0 team that might not make the playoffs, I'm going to have to say I'm not a firm believer in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't believe in Bakerfield. He has been looking pretty good these last 2 games, but I don't know. I just can't see him. I picked New Orleans to win the division, and even though I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are 2-0-2. I mean, if they keep winning games, I feel like they'll beat out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But yeah, that's my 2-0 team. I don't think.
Herman, who you got?
All right. So when you look at the 0-2 teams, there's really only like 3 teams that you're like, whoa, they're starting off 0-2, and that's the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Vikings. All 3. Yeah, Chargers made the playoffs last year, right?
No.
Yes.
No, they missed it.
They lost
Who
to
they play?
Jacksonville. They lost to Jacksonville. Remember?
Yeah, they lost to
They
Jacksonville.
did. Okay, yeah, you're right.
So you're talking 3 playoff teams right there. These other teams that are on the list is 0-2. Nah, they ain't making it. You got the 3 teams from the playoffs last year that are 0-2 this year. We know the Chargers ain't gonna make it because they got Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator, and we know how that goes. Okay,
Staley as their coach. We know how that goes.
It's just a whole nightmare sandwich over there when the coaching staff, I guess, when it comes, because that you can see the Chargers have completely changed, and they're trash now. They're just bad. Their offense is scoring points, but they're losing games. Just like the Cowboys did when they had Kellen Moore. I mean, when they counted, they lost. Okay, so
if you score points and losing games, it's your fault as a defense.
Yes, it is definitely the offensive coordinator's fault.
I'm gonna be the offensive coordinator's fault.
He doesn't know how to slow the game down. All he's thinking is, I gotta score, and he doesn't know how to call a proper game. Kellen Moore and the Chargers are not going to the playoffs. X them out. The Vikings. Now that they're going to have a run game now. If the Vikings learn to stop turning the daggone ball over, they would be fine. We'll talk about that game, but I'm going to go with what Marcus said too, which is the Bengals, because they're like one of the most talented teams. They were considered one of the top teams in the league before the season started, and they start 0-2, and Burrow looks terrible, but we know he's rusty from his injury and everything. But like Marcus said too, if he's out an extended period of time, then I'd have to flip my answer and say it would probably be the Vikings, because I think that their division is still up for grabs. I'm not buying Green Bay, and I'm definitely not buying Detroit yet, and I still think the Vikings could jump up there and take that division. So my pick would be the Bengals, but if Burrow's out, then it would be the Vikings. Now, as for the 2-0 teams, it's a lot of pretenders out there.
I already know
A
what you mean.
lot of pretenders out there. And at first I was like, yeah, I know who I'm saying for that. But you know what? It wouldn't be because of they are pretenders, but it would be because we beat each other up within the division a lot. And the 2 strongest teams in the NFC East it's just the Cowboys and the Eagles. It just is. The Commanders, they're just not there yet. It's smoke and mirror. They don't have the experienced quarterback. I don't care what you say. You got to have that experienced quarterback. But I'm not going to put them on my list as least likely to make the playoffs, Marcus, so you don't have to get all upset. I'm going to go with the Vikings. With the Falcons. I'm just not buying the Falcons being 2-0. And there's 3 teams in that division that are 2-0. And if I had to pick 2 teams out of that division, believe it or not, the Saints, of course, because I think I picked the Saints to win the division too. I'm picking Bakerfield over Ritter, just because of the experience. And if Bakerfield can learn to not try to do too much, which it looks like that's what he's doing right now, the Bucks can be a good team. So out of the 2-0 teams, it's for me, it's Atlanta. They're not going to make the playoffs.
All right. For me, the 0-2 team, I think, is going to pull themselves out of that basement believe it or not, I think it's going to be the New England Patriots. I can't see the Bill Belichick led team going the whole season and not pulling themselves up to be compatible and competitive in this division. So I'm gonna take the New England Patriots to come out of the cellar on the AFC.
In the division with Miami and Buffalo, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We said make the playoffs, like. So you saying they're gonna make the playoffs?
Because of Bill Belichick.
There's gonna be three teams from the AFC. There's gonna be 3 teams from the AFC East.
Well, it might only be 2 out of that division.
Yeah, Miami and Buffalo.
We'll see. The NFC, I gotta agree with you, Herman, as far as the Falcons. I don't believe in what the Falcons are doing right now. Smoke and mirrors. I think New Orleans will probably come out top in that division, and I think Tampa Bay will be the second. So I think Atlanta is the other team that I say that are 2-0 that end up dropping and not making the playoffs based on their start. Brian, what you got?
All right, so I agree with you, Mark, on the 0-2 team that's going to make the playoffs. Y'all keep saying about the Bills. The Bills have not impressed me in one iota this whole season yet. They lost to a Jets team that was quarterback less. And Josh Allen is still playing too erratic for me to guarantee that they make the playoffs. I think that their window is severely closing, and I think it might have closed this year. So I agree with the knowledge of Bill Belichick. And you can say that the New England Patriots were a bad team, but they were in both of those games for the most part. They didn't get blown out in either one of those games, so they had chances to win both of them, and they played against 2 good teams. So I like Bill Belichick's chances of getting out of there. You can already cancel the Jets out of that, so it's really just a matter of beating Buffalo to try to get in on a wild card. As for the team that's 2-0, there's really only one team that I know for a fact.
Damn it. He muted you.
I know. And the reason why is because of the division. And Herman kind of touched on it. The division is very tough. We're not getting 3 out of the East this year. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. And although they are playing inspired football, they kind of struggled to beat the Cardinals. And the Cardinals, again, are a quarterback-less team. And they had to come back to beat the Broncos, which was admirable. But it is just the Broncos. So give me the Commanders as a team that is 2-0 that will not make the playoffs.
Mm.
No, I knew when I put that part in there. I was like, I shouldn't put that part in there.
All right. Okay. That was a good one. Our next hot topic we have is you're the New York Jets GM. What are you going to do now about are you sticking with Zach Wilson, or do you try to make a trade for a serviceable quarterback who could possibly get you in the playoffs? Herman, what would you do if you were the Jets GM about this quarterback situation?
You know, everybody's saying that Zach Wilson didn't play that bad. But again,
who said that?
Some people. I'm sorry. You know what? It was probably I might have saw that on Speaks. So take it.
Okay.
Not this panel. Not this panel.
Not this panel. You have to do something. You cannot subject this team to Zach Wilson after everything that y'all did in the offseason. You got a top-rated defense. You cannot subject this team to Zach Wilson the rest of this year. You have got to go out. You don't have to mortgage the future because, you know, supposedly Aaron Rodgers is coming back or whatever, but you're going to have to find something because you can't keep rolling out Zach Wilson and not at least challenge him in practice or something to say, you know, you can, because like right now they have nobody to go to if he continues to stink it up. So I feel like you have to go out and get somebody. You know, I heard an interesting story where they were talking about the Vikings, you know, not wanting to pay Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, yeah.
If you can go out and get Kirk Cousins, I would do it.
Would you get him on a 1-year deal?
Yeah, because I think this is the end of his contract. I think this is the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You don't need him next year, so maybe give up a third. You know, maybe you can get him for a fourth if you're lucky, but you got to do something. You cannot sit there with Zach Wilson and say Zach's our quarterback. We believe in Zach, because them players looking at him sideways in the locker room. They coming out now saying, you know, we got to give Zach more support and this and that. But nah, bro, them dudes, that defense gonna get mad. They're gonna get tired of that crap real fast. So we've seen what Zach Wilson can do. We know what he can do. We've seen his tape. Okay, he's either not ready yet still, or he just ain't never gonna be ready. So if I'm the GM, I'm gonna make some move. I might try to go get Jameis Winston, you know, from New Orleans or something. You got to do something. You cannot just sit back and watch this just fall apart like this.
Yeah, I'm looking at their roster. They got Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle, 2-year experience and 5-year experience. I'm gonna throw out some names for you guys that are out there. Colt McCoy.
You should have did that from the question.
Nick,
but go ahead.
Well, I'm doing it now, Brian. Nick Foles, Carson Wentz, Trevor Siemian, Matt Ryan.
Isn't Matt Ryan?
There's three retired quarterbacks out there that basically you kick the tires on too. Ben Roethlisberger, Chase Daniel, and Chad Henne.
Chase Daniel.
Not Tom Brady. No Tom Brady.
Yeah,
not Tom. Tom's got the ownership partial of the Raiders.
All he had to do is give it up, and he can.
No, they haven't approved it yet. They have not approved his.
I think Tom don't want to gamble with that.
They said that he can come back. They haven't approved his.
Just think about it though. He could come back to the Jets. He could stick it to Belichick again and win another Super Bowl without him.
I wouldn't come back for the Jets. Not the way that offensive line is, no. But I like
all the Jets that can't stand Tom Brady's guts would have to root for him to win the Super Bowl.
It'll be an interesting story. But my if I was a GM, I'll try to bring in Chad Henne. I would. He's won the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. He showed that, you know, when he was asked to get in there, he maintained. He did a good job. I would do Chad Henne. But really, if you really need to do something, you need to go get an offensive lineman to help to protect the quarterback. To be honest with you, but a quarterback they need is a veteran right now. Even if you got Rodgers back in there as just a mentor for Zach Wilson, that would help. At least bring him back as a mentor. I think it'll help some.
Well, I mean, he's still there. They don't have to bring him back. He's there.
Well, what I mean is that you keep him there on the sidelines for him to work.
He mentored him all off season. It
didn't work. True.
Hasn't worked.
It wouldn't matter if Jesus mentored Zach Wilson. He's still.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's bad. Brian, who would you take?
See, I disagree with all y'all right now. And I don't know about the Jesus comment, Marcus. I think that's kind of harsh. But Zach Wilson was a number 1 draft pick. You drafted him number 1.
Stop.
Now, have you really given him the offense that he needs?
Have
you really mentored him the way that you're supposed to? You do have a defensive headed head coach. So the question is, what do? You got Breece Hall back there. You got what's his name came from Dalvin Cook back there. You have an awesome defense. You play ground and pound like the Jets used to do. You treat him like Mark Sanchez. You don't give him a whole lot to do. You give him quick, easy, short passes. You run the ball. You play good defense. And I think Nick Folk is their kicker. But I think you're just going to have to roll the dice with what you got right now. Greg Zuerlein? Oh,
he's supposed to be their kicker.
He's just as bad. So you're going to have to basically just roll the dice. And you were planning on last year. You almost made the playoffs with him as your quarterback. So you dial it down a little bit. Don't let him make as many turnovers. And you're going to just take your chances like that.
But Brian, before the season started, they went all in. We can all agree to that, right?
They did.
All in. So you went all in. Your mind and your mode should still be to go all in. So that means you got to do whatever. And
see, I just can't fathom a team. I mean, you just spent a boatload on Aaron Rodgers and he's gone. Now you're going to try to spend another boatload on Kirk Cousins.
No, I'm just saying you got to do something. If you can't,
yeah, but there's nothing really out there to get like that, in my opinion. Chad Henne, no,
better than Wilson.
Yeah, better.
Who?
Chad Henne is better than
No,
Wilson.
he's not. He
James
truly
Winston
isn't.
is better than Wilson.
He definitely is not. You're already talking about the turnovers.
He's crazy.
His middle name is Croissant.
That's
Mr.
Mr. 30 for 30.
Yeah, y'all know I'm one to dog out Jameis Winston, but you're telling me that you would take Zach Wilson over Jameis Winston.
I wouldn't give anything extra for Jameis Winston. For Jameis Winston for Zach Wilson. I wouldn't give a team a dime for him.
You'd be fired if I owned my team, and you might.
That's why I own the team, Herman.
Man, I just there's something
again. You're talking about it, but y'all as a team, y'all drafted him number one. Y'all scouts decided he was the one, and then all of a sudden because Aaron Rodgers was available, y'all jumped on it. But what would they have done if they did get Aaron Rodgers?
They probably would have went after somebody else. They were not going into the season with Zach Wilson.
At this point, and then this is the other thing too that another place that brought up. They were saying, like, let's say for some odd reason the Jets do make the playoffs, and y'all know Aaron already said that he'll be back, he'll be available for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now
you think he'll be
Zach
ready
got you there. Zach got you there. Do you just say bye, Zach? Aaron's back.
Yes.
But Herman.
Yes.
No, but listen to what I'm saying now.
Yes.
Aaron ain't played a down four with the whole team.
Doesn't matter.
You don't think chemistry or any of that should play a part in that?
Brian's playing devil's advocate. He just
I'm asking a question. You want to put Aaron Rodgers in a playoff game, basically the first game that they played live.
Yes.
Y'all
I'm taking my chance with Aaron Rodgers. I'm taking
y'all crazy.
And that's Hall of Famer.
All y'all would be fired.
The future Hall of Famer over top of
I'm taking my chances with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all are terrible.
Marcus, who you got in this one? Who you taking?
After hearing Brian's buffoonery, it
Spell it.
B-U-F-F-oonery.
No. You can't spell it, you can't use it.
Okay, so first of all, this is a number one draft pick. I would be willing to bet more number one draft picks fail than succeed in the league. You're really gambling. You're really gambling. So the fact that he's the number one draft pick don't mean anything. It doesn't.
Well, if that's the case, then why not just roll the dice and just whatever name pops out the hat, take that? Why go through all this checks, all these different coaches, going to see his conferences, taking him to the drafting, all that stuff? Why go through all this stuff if you don't? You are gambling, but you're gambling on information that you know. You've done your research, so you're feeling you're making the best gamble for your team.
And they were wrong. Like I said, I had to do the research, but I feel like more number ones fail than they succeed. Okay, especially a quarterback. So no, I don't believe in Zach Wilson. I agree with Herman. They should go after Kirk Cousins. They would have a much better chance with Kirk Cousins than they do with Zach Wilson. Much better. You know, I don't like Kirk that much, and he don't win primetime games, but way better chance. And with that defense they got, he doesn't have to do a whole lot. That's the problem. They got this great defense, and Zach Wilson still giving games away. Yeah. Still giving games away. You can't even do a Trent Dilfer or Brad Johnson. He can't even do that much.
Right.
He can't even do that much. He's just giving games away. You got that defense, you're just giving games away. Listen, you have to do something. You have to do something quick because whoever you bring in isn't going to play probably for 10 days. They got to learn the system, and so the longer you wait, the longer your chances of making the playoffs are gone.
Yeah, the bigger hole could be.
Yeah, so I would have either Kirk Cousins, Jameis Winston, I don't know. I guess Matt Ryan, anybody, Carson Wentz. Anybody.
Yeah.
I know you didn't say Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz.
Hey, at least Carson Wentz. It was a short run.
Hey, go get y'all's old backup. Where's he at?
Yeah.
Go get him.
What's his name?
Heineke.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
Heineke,
get Heineken. Yeah, go
He's
get
down in
him.
Atlanta. Heineke's down in
Yeah, he's in
Atlanta.
Atlanta, but
he'd be better. He'd be better than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is garbage. No, you don't believe it. And this, like I said, I've said this earlier. This has to be the biggest letdown in sports history. You just going all in, talking Super Bowls. Oh, we got the MVP, Aaron Rodgers. We're going Super Bowl. And then 4 plays in, he's gone. And unless you want to just all that hype you had going the season, unless you want to totally dead, you better get somebody because Zach Wilson is not the answer.
We're gonna have this conversation again when they make the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, you smoking some. I won't.
It's gonna come back up, huh?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to get into our picks for last week's games. The first game we got. Give me 1 second. Visible.
No, it's not visible.
All right. First game we got is the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles won it 34-28. This was a high scoring game on this one. The stats for the game: we had the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, 31 for 44, 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Madison, running back, 8 attempts, 28 yards, 0 touchdowns. Jefferson, 11 receptions for 159 yards, 0 touchdowns. For the Eagles, you had Jalen Hurts, 18 completions with 23 attempts for 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. You got DeAndre Swift, 28 attempts, 175 yards, 1 touchdown. And then you have the Devontae Smith, 4 receptions, 131 yards, 1 TD. Marcus, I'll let you start this out. Who did you have in this one?
I picked the Eagles, and I was right. Looking at the stats, I think the number one stat is Kirk Cousins, 31 for 44. He had to throw too many times. I mean, he didn't throw any picks. He threw 4 touchdowns, but they didn't have a running game. They only had 28 yards.
Yep.
That's not going to do it. The Eagles they had much more. I think they had like 259 rushing yards.
259 yards total.
Yeah, they killed the time of possession. That's what it takes to win a game. And also it's prime time. Kirk Cousins does bad at prime time games, but they just too much having to pass, no running game, which is I guess it's good they signed Akers. So but I picked the Eagles and I was right.
Brian,
is that mine? That wasn't mine making that music, was it?
No,
that was
What?
Y'all can't hear that?
No.
We don't want to hear it either.
I don't need it. It's a commercial playing on the app. All right, but in this game, I was with you, Marcus. I picked the Eagles. I just had premonitions of last year and how bad the Vikings played against the Eagles, and didn't see that they did anything better to make it a more competitive game. You can't win a game when you fumble the ball 4 times and lose all 4 times. And you can't win a game when you let the Eagles basically run the ball down your throat for a touchdown. I mean, the Eagles, it was one drive. They just ran the ball and ran the ball and ran the ball. And that's just demoralizing to a defense. The way they did that, I knew that was over, and I went to sleep. Now, the Vikings, I guess, made a game of it near the end, but you can't turn the ball over that many times. And if you can't stop the run, you could just cancel Christmas. So I had the Vikings in this. The Eagles in this one. And unfortunately, I was right.
Yeah, and this, I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't believe
Herman,
it.
did you talk?
No.
Yeah,
I think Herman's next.
You're last. Herman,
You're last, buddy.
Why can't I go next?
Because
you're last. Because you got the hat on.
Because you're not smart.
Go ahead, Herman.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of what Brian said, you can't win a game turning the ball over 4 times. But I find the interesting thing is that they were in this game still, which is crazy, considering the Eagles got 4 turnovers off of them, ran for 259 yards as a team, and you barely beat them by 6 points.
That's
Seems to
because
me-
the Eagles' pass defense is very suspect.
yeah, it seems to me like
Very
if
suspect.
you're getting turnovers like that, you should be beating teams like 40-0 or 30-10.
30-10.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? So, while the Eagles did pull this one out, I did pick the Eagles. But I know that if my team got turnovers like that, I would expect a more dominant performance. I picked the Eagles and I got it right.
Now can I talk?
It's all yours.
After the music. Herman Vaca.
You suck.
I don't know why I believe in Kirk Cousins on a daggone night where
Prime
I don't
time.
know why. Eagles, they benefited off that Justin Jefferson's fumble. I'm trying to reach and score that touchdown. The Vikings had the Eagles the first half. They had them. Eagles side to run the ball the second half, and that's what turned the tide for them. Every time Swift touched the ball, he had big gains in yardage, and the Eagles took advantage of it. Eagles had a long drive that chewed up the clock, basically, pretty much in the third quarter, that helped them propel and win this game. But Philly rushing the ball 259 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns was big. But I took the Vikings, and they almost pulled it out. But as you can see, I lost. The Vikings lost the game.
Anytime, Marcus.
No, I'm sorry.
You know, the daydream.
You know.
Okay, moving on.
You suck.
Shut up. All right, the next game we're going to have is the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. This game went into overtime. The Seahawks won it in overtime, 37-31. The stats on this one. Wait a minute. You didn't do this, did you?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he
The
did.
stats on this particular game. Geno Smith, 32 for 41, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interception. Kenneth Walker, the third, 17 attempts, 43 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Lockett, 8 receptions, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. For the Lions, Jared Goff, 28 for 35, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. David Montgomery, we ended up getting hurt in this game, 16 carries, 67 yards, 1 touchdown. And then the lead receiver for the Lions, Josh Reynolds, 5 receptions, 66 yards for 2 touchdowns. On this one, Herman, I'll let you go first. Who did you have in this one?
See, this is why I said I ain't believe in the Lions before. They go on the road, beat the Super Bowl champions on an opening night, and then they come home and lose to the Seahawks. It was a good game. It was a close game. I picked the Lions. I got this one wrong. And if we pick any more Lions games, I'm likely not picking the Lions to win. Tired of the Lions.
I'm with you, Herman, but it kind of felt like this game looked like the same old Lions. They play hard, they in the game, but they can't pull it out.
And
2
one thing real
back-to-back
quick
turnovers.
too. Sorry, one thing quick too. What did they draft Gibbs for? If they're not going to use this dude, the running back.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing, man? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, they had they had 2 back-to-back turnovers. One was a fumble Seattle scored on. Then they had a pick 6 that they scored on, and Seattle was back in this game on this one. Good thing for the Lions was that everybody else lost in the division, so they ain't losing. They pretty much ain't losing the ground on it. But yeah, man, I couldn't believe that the Lions played this poorly after starting off, the first week. But I took the Lions on this one too, and I lost it. Marcus, who did you have?
First of all, you two Debbie Downers. but this game was very evenly matched. If the 7 wasn't for the turnovers, I mean, we can always say though, if it wasn't for the turnovers, this game is very evenly matched. They probably would have won this game. I still have much faith in Detroit. The last 3 they played the Seahawks the last 3 years, and it's been close games each time. The Seahawks play the Lions very well. They put up some good games. This is a very good game. But like I said, it was very evenly matched. The average yards per play, sacks allowed, touchdown efficiency, time of possession, everything. It was just those turnovers. You just can't have those turnovers. And but I'm still very high on the Lions, and they weren't going to win every game. I did expect them to win this one, and I was wrong. But Lions still a very good team. I still got faith in the Lions.
All right, so we're moving on to the next game. The Ravens taking on.
We can move on, but I'm gonna continue to wear this hat until I get to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian. Who did you have in this game, sir?
I told you don't count on that. You got.
Are you serious? The first time that the professor speaks and I don't even get my music, my ceremony. So for those who don't know, the reason why I'm wearing this cap is because I'm the smartest of the 4 in this panel. I was the smartest one because I chose the better team, which was the Seattle Seahawks in this contest. But I will admit the Lions put up a great game, and Marcus made a good point. If it wasn't for the turnovers, the Lions really should have won this game. The Lions put up more yards. They had 400 and where did it go?
They had a lot of yards.
They had a lot, 418 yards.
Yeah,
and the Seahawks had 393 yards. And Marcus said, like I said, most of the stats are fairly competitive, fairly close in this game. And actually, the Seahawks were more penalized than the Lions. Even time of possession was really close, but what it really came down to was the Lions were careless with the ball and the Seahawks weren't. So the Seahawks get this dub, and I'm very happy to be the first one this year to be wearing the hat.
Do you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you can turn it off.
I know.
No, I think it should get played longer because I didn't get it in the beginning.
You all right. No, we moving on.
All right.
Keeping the show moving along. We've got the next game. We've got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Ravens won this 27-24. The stats on the game: Lamar Jackson, 24 for 33, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Gus Edwards, 10 attempts, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 5 receptions, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Bengals, Joe Burrows, 27 for 41, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Joe Mixon, 13 for 59 yards, 0 touchdowns. And T. Higgins, 8 receptions, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns on this one. Brian, I'll let you go first. Who did you have in this game?
In this one, I was fooled. I thought that like you guys thought, that the Bengals had a misstep the first game of the season, and I thought that they were going to light it up. And we all know the Ravens have some questionable secondary help, but the Ravens were the better team. I really don't think that the Bengals was in this game. I don't think it was ever any question that the Ravens were going to win it. Burrow and Chase still just don't seem to have that connection like they had in previous seasons. So I did, unfortunately, pick the Cincinnati Bengals, and I did pick this one wrong.
Yeah, on this one, I was with you too, Brian. The Ravens, they pretty much put it together. The Bengals, I think Burrow said it best. He said, when you don't have a quarterback who miss camp, it's tough to come out with a fast start. He said it himself. The turning point was in the third quarter. The Bengals were about to go up at least 13-7, and Baltimore had an interception. They ended up taking it back from there. But the the Bengals, the lack of rust on them, man, they starting off terrible. Just like last year, they started off 0-2, and they were able to get themselves back in there. Another thing was Ravens Odell Beckham Jr. injured his ankle in this game. Didn't make it, after halftime, didn't make it back in there. Don't know how bad that injury is or how long he's going to be out.
Got to call him Mr. Glass. We call him Mr. Glass.
But like you said, I took the Bengals in this one and I got it wrong. Marcus, who'd you have in this?
I took the Ravens because I was smart on like YouTube. I believe in the Ravens this season. I'm drinking the purple Kool-Aid. I like the new offense that Todd Munchkin or whatever his name is brought in from Georgia. I think he has some weapons now, even though Beckham went out. That dude Flowers, he was looking pretty nice. And like Mark said, you got Jamar Chase in your team. You only have 5 receptions for 31 yards. It's the chemistry just not there. They got to work on that. There's no reason for to have that many lesser yards. It's just not good. But I believe the Bengals will pull it together. I just didn't believe they would put it together this past week, and I was right. I picked the Ravens.
Herman, who'd you have?
So I had the Bengals in this one too. It was a divisional game. Good.
Wait, you had the Bengals too?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not.
You're too late. It's too late.
too late.
It's too late. It's too late. Herman's talking.
He ain't
You already
talking.
had your turn. So
Brian, he looked like he just graduated for real.
he does. Hey, Herman, he graduated kindergarten.
You little man, you.
Whatever. Sorry,
You look more like a pirate. Arr.
whatever.
like I said, good divisional game. You guys are saying that the chemistry is not there with Joe Burrow and Chase and Jamar Chase. It's not the chemistry because he's not a new receiver to him. It's something else. Jamar Chase should not be your 4th leading receiver ever. Okay,
Right.
that's the first. That's just it. You coach needs to figure out how to get this man the ball. He's rusty. Burrow is rusty, but he's connecting with his other receivers ahead of Jamar. And like I said, they're not new to each other. They probably work together the most, I would think. So, if the Bengals are going to keep rolling out these type of stats and this type of play, they're going to keep losing. Hats off to the Ravens. Lamar, he's looking good. He's using his weapons. He had 12 rushes for 54 yards. He was still he had the most carries, which I don't like to see that. I want to see, the running backs getting the ball more. But I think they're staying pretty balanced with their play calling. It's like you said, like Marcus said, what's his name? Munchkin or Munchcheck?
Munchkin or something like that.
Munchins. Maybe that's what it is. He looks like he's put together a pretty good offense now for the Ravens. So, he has some weapons, especially Zay Flowers, that they're using him, to his ability. So I picked the Bengals, and I got this one wrong.
All right. So
No, because you got 2 teams, so you didn't pick it right.
next game we go into is the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. The Dolphins won this game 24-17. Stats for it: Tua, 31 for 30, 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Raheem Mostert, 18 carries, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 4 receptions, 86 yards, no touchdowns. Mac Jones, 31 for 42, 231 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ramondo Stevenson, 15 carries, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. And Hunter Henry, 6 receptions, 52 yards, 1 touchdown in this one. Herman, who did you have in this game?
I picked the Dolphins in this game. The Dolphins, they look dynamic. They really do. They're playing with speed on both sides of the ball. I feel like they're not asking Tua to do too much. He threw for 30. He's had 30 attempts. Might be a little high, but that's probably a good number for a quarterback that you trust in. And then on the flip side, I don't know what the Patriots are doing. And Marcus, maybe it's because your favorite coach is on the offensive coordinator for the Patriots now. But why, Mac Jones, why is he throwing 42 times? Run the football. I guess they were behind. Yeah, they were behind a lot too. So, but you're not going to win games with Mac Jones throwing 42 times. You're just not. You better figure out something else, another way. But I did pick Miami, and I got this one right.
Yeah, I also took Miami in this one too. Patriots were largely they were outplayed against the Dolphins in this one. I tell you what was funny, man, when they did that catch and they pitched it back. I was like, didn't New England learn something last year from pitching it back in Vegas? That wasn't a good look. That wasn't a good move. So
he almost got the first though.
Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to try. They had to try.
At that point.
Dolphins took over like the first half of that game. When Tua went down there with an 80-yard drive, he was like 7 for 7. He was on fire. He was spreading the ball around. He did a great job. Also, did y'all know Tua is 5-0 against Belichick Patriots?
Yes.
He done crack the code for them.
The code was no more Tom Brady. That's the code.
Yeah, but I took the Dolphins in this one, and they were successful. Marcus, who did you have in this one?
Yeah, I also took the Dolphins. I just don't believe in the Patriots anymore. It might be time for Belichick to leave because they're not going to be good anytime soon. They don't have it. They don't really have any skill players than anybody. I mean, I think the running back is pretty good, but other than that, who else you got? And Matt Jones is. Well, I'm not even gonna blame it on Matt Jones. I'm gonna blame it on my favorite coach, Bill O'Brien.
I knew that was coming.
You want to talk about Kellen Moore? Kellen Moore, Bill O'Brien was like, hold my beer, Kellen. if he can go in there and mess up a team, that's what he does. And just the Patriots aren't what they used to be. It is no longer their division. It belongs to Buffalo, Miami, and Miami's looking really good. I like watching Miami. It's funny because you know how the league is more like shotgun now and everything. They do a lot of under center, do a lot of I formation. It's just very refreshing to see that they kind of went back to old school doing like that. They use a lot of motion, and with that speed and that motion, it's hard to keep up with them. Yeah. So
one of the things about the Dolphins is we haven't seen the best of them yet. To be honest with you, they don't have a Jalen Ramsey. They have an offensive lineman that's out. So we haven't seen the best of them yet, to be honest with you.
Is Ramsey going to play this season? I thought he was out for the whole season.
I thought he was supposed to come back.
Late in the season, he's supposed to be back.
Okay.
Yeah. Brian, who'd you take in this game?
Yeah, I think we all went in accord and all went with the Dolphins on this one. I kind of wanted to go out on a limb and pick the Patriots, but the statue said, Tua's 5-0. Well, he was 4-0 then. He's 5-0 now. And the way that offense is moving, Marcus is right. There's so much speed on both sides. Both outside wide receivers just got, phenomenal speed. It's hard to double one. And the fact that they still keep getting completions, no matter what you do, is just ridiculous. So I picked the Dolphins. I picked this one right. Again, the Patriots were in this game, but they just didn't have enough firepower.
Okay. We're moving on to the Monday night game. We had a Monday night doubleheader this year. You had the Saints taking on the Panthers. The Saints won it 20-17. Stats from that game: you had Derek Carr, 21 for 36, 228 yards, zero touchdowns, zero interception. Tony Jones Jr., 12 attempts, 34 yards for 2 touchdowns. Then you had Chris Olave, 6 receptions, 86 yards, 0 touchdowns. For the Panthers, you had Bryce Young, 22 for 33, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Miles Sanders, 14 attempts, 43 yards, 0 touchdown. Adam Thielen, 7 receptions, 54 yards, and 1 touchdown. This one, I'll let you start it off, Marcus. Who did you have in this?
I picked the Saints. I picked them to win the division. I just don't believe in the Panthers right now. I hope the best for Bryce Young, but I don't believe the Panthers are going to be good this year. They might get it together, but this year is just not them. So I picked the Saints, and I was right on the way.
Herman?
Yeah, I had the Saints in this one too. Again, along the lines of I did pick them to win the division. They're the better team, more experienced quarterback, pretty well-rounded. I think even their run game is going good, and they still get Alvin Kamara is coming back to that team too soon. So I picked the Saints, so I got that right.
Yeah, I also took the Saints in this one. Bryce Young struggled at his home debut in this game. He was sacked 4 times, and one crucial moment was a strip fumble that was deep in the Saints territory. So that was crucial for him. But the constant pressure on this young man was just crazy from Saints defense, and they just couldn't stop him. But I took the Saints in this one, and they were successful. Brian?
Yeah, I picked the Saints in this one, and I wasn't able to watch this game as thoroughly as I like because somebody dragged me to a restaurant, made me watch the Steelers. So I didn't get to see all of this game, but I did pick the Saints. Mark was right. Bryce, he took his lumps, but he will get better. I did see some flashes, so I'm not saying that it was a bad choice. I think that the young man will do well in this league. They just need to get a little better offensive line, and he just has to, take his lumps as he learns how to play quarterback in the NFL. So I'll pick the Saints. But the Saints weren't that no mind blowers either. They actually were kind of stinging it up too.
They were. They definitely were. And when y'all go? Why? I was not invited.
Because you don't go out to bars anymore because you don't drink.
You don't drink, right?
I still drink water at the bar.
Yeah, I don't think they sell that.
Do we want somebody out there drinking water with us, Brian?
And they're better than the Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple's very good. Thank you much.
All right, so we will get into the last game.
Herman, his drink matches his beard.
I hate y'all.
I love you.
All right, we'll get into the last game. We have the.
Better hurry up! It's almost 9:00. We farting around.
The Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do y'all think about them helmets, the uniforms they had? What do you think about those?
Oh, that joint was awful. Awful bad. I did not like that all white helmet at all.
It reminded me of a college team, man.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't like it. Stats for this game: you had the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson, 22 for 40, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jerome Ford, 16 attempts, 106 yards, 0 touchdown. Amari Cooper, 7 receptions for 90 yards, 0 touchdown. Kenny Pickett, 15 for 30, 222 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 10 attempts, 43 yards, 0 touchdowns. George Pickens, 44 receptions, 127 yards, 1 touchdown. Marcus, who'd you have in this game?
I picked the Steelers, but it was a very ugly game. And I don't know if I asked you who your offensive coordinator was. That dude needs to go.
Matt, they were booing him.
Yeah, you did ask, and he did respond.
Game. It was like they were chanting.
Like, why wouldn't you? I know there was one play,
the
announcers even called it out. There were like 8 or 9 in the box, and they still ran the ball. Why didn't you audible out of that, throw a slant or something quick it's just their offense is. I picked the Steelers, and I had them highly rated this season, but I don't know. I might have been dead wrong with that pick because their offense is. I mean, it's just terrible. You know, I don't haven't made my mind on Kenny Pickett yet, but you know you got George Pickens in there. He's a great wide receiver. You got that running back they drafted a couple years ago. You should be able to do something. But their defense barely moves up and down the field. It's just I hate to see Mike Tomlin with a team like this, but he can't have the same OT next year. He got to do something. This is terrible. But I picked the Steelers and they won, but it was not a pretty victory at all.
Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I had the Steelers in this one too. This was just an ugly game. Like Marcus said, I was looking at I was like, what is their offensive coordinator doing? Like, is he paying it? Like, what is he doing? I didn't think you could have an offensive coordinator worse than Kellen Moore.
Bill O'Brien.
I'm realizing now that there are some other ones out there that are worse than Kellen Moore, just as bad, even though Kellen Moore's still the number one worst one. Anyway, real quick, Deshaun Watson is trash. Period. This dude is wait a minute, hold on, wait. He just got sacked again. Yep.
Now he face masked somebody.
This dude got sacked 6 times. He can't. No throwing the ball 40 times for Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry, no. He looks terrible, and I hate to see it, but he just does. Like last year, I thought it was just the rust because he hadn't played. He had a whole training camp, whole off season, and this is what this dude is putting on the field. Poor, he is robbing Cleveland. Armed robbery is what we're watching every Sunday. Okay, that's just ridiculous. But I picked the Steelers. Steelers didn't look no better than the Browns. That was just an ugly game. I just picked the Steelers because they were at home. I got it right.
Brian, who you got?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, actually, this game could have went either way. Kenny Little Hands Pickett. No, I don't think he's the answer. He's just not taking. Like, I don't know what I saw in the preseason and then what he's doing now. It's just like it's two different quarterbacks. It's like somebody just he just lost all of his knowledge that he had in the preseason, or maybe just because it was vanilla. But no, he's not the answer, and they're gonna have to go back to the draft to find somebody else. And I hate the fact that Herman's right on Deshaun Watson. It really bothers me because I really wanted Deshaun to do well. I wanted him to prove everybody wrong and show him that he was worth all this money. But Herman's right. And I don't see him coming back or being any better. He's trash. He is definitely trash, and I hate to admit it. But and then to have an attitude, and how do you get two personal fouls as a quarterback?
Yeah, bro.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get that. I just don't get that. Then you almost got ejected for pushing a ref.
Yeah.
I mean, you just out of control, dog. You just out of control. You got to calm that down. So I will not, especially with the loss of Chubb, I definitely won't be picking Cleveland to win any more games.
So you pick Cleveland?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, also,
So did my count.
Why you ain't hacking it?
Because somebody else did too.
I took Cleveland. Cleveland this week.
Okay.
Still started off the game. Still start off the game with the pick six. They also had that strip fumble that led to the T.J. Watt touchdown. But the thing that got me, man, was the crowd was chanting "Fire Canada." It was just too funny to me. They was chanting that there. Still 6 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 3 recovered, 1 interception, 2 defensive touchdowns. Cleveland's offense has no rhythm at all.
Was it Cleveland's offense or T.J. Watt all over the goddamn place?
It was a little both. But this wasn't all around. This wasn't a well played game for both teams though. But I took the Cleveland Browns, but I'm happy I lost it. All right. How'd y'all fare this week with these games, man? I think
Jesus Christ.
I went
think I got
5-1.
I think I'm 2-4.
5-1.
1,
4 and
2, 3, 4, and 2.
Okay. I did terrible. All right, so we can close to the end of this show, fellas. So let's go through the last week's picks. We've got the Giants who 1-1 taking on the 49ers, the 2-0.
Stop. Let's all say it in unison. Let's all just say it in unison.
Right.
49ers. All right. Next game, we got the 2-0 Saints taking on the 1-1 Packers. Is it Packers that got 2 points?
They're giving up 2 points.
Giving up. Okay, I couldn't see the negative. I'm sorry.
So,
They're giving up 2 points. On this one, Brian, who you got in this game?
man, I'm going to take the Packers in this game, man. I'm starting to like what Love is doing. I like what the coach has going on there at home. I'm going to go with the Pack, man.
Marcus?
I like Brian's arguments, but I'm going to go with the Saints. I just feel like they're better. I just feel like they're a better team than the Packers. Not by much, but I'm going with the Saints.
I'm gonna have to agree with Brian on this one. I'm taking the Packers. They playing at home, playing in Lambeau Field. I'm taking the Packers. Herman?
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers on this one too. Home field advantage and Love is playing some good football.
You find your hat, Marcus? You better find that hat.
I know where it is. I'm not gonna need it.
Yeah,
I see you this weekend. I give you mine. I see you this weekend.
I got it.
Next game, we got the Tennessee Titans 1-1 at the Cleveland Browns 1-1. Cleveland giving up 3 points on this one. I'm gonna start.
I think the line did change. This line, I did this line before the Monday night, so I think it did change. But go ahead.
The Titans favor?
No, I think the line just dropped down.
I'm gonna take the Titans in this one, man. I didn't see enough of Cleveland to make me think that they're ready to handle this Titans team. So I'm taking the Titans on this one. Herman?
After what I just said about Deshaun Watson, there's no way in hell I'm picking the Browns. Give me the Titans.
I mean, he is playing against Ryan Tannehill.
I don't care.
Marcus?
Yeah, I'm also taking the Titans. There's no way I'm picking the Browns. Titans all day.
And Brian?
Yeah, y'all heard my last subject, man. Forget the Browns, man. Give me the Titans.
All right, next game we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to the Las Vegas. What happened to Marcus?
He got tired. I'll tell you who he picked.
Who's taking on the Las Vegas Raiders? The Raiders are giving up 1.5 on this one. Go ahead. We start off with Marcus. Who you got, Marcus?
He wasn't even there. How you gonna ask him?
He popped in. He came in.
I assume we talking about the Steelers and the Raiders.
Yeah, stop touching stuff. Leave stuff alone.
I don't think that's my fault. I'm going with the. I hate to say it, but this is how much I don't believe in the Raiders. And what's the coach name?
Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
I hate to do it, but I'm gonna pick the Steelers again. I just dogged them out. I'm gonna pick the Steelers, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. But I'm not picking the Raiders, so I'll have to pick the Steelers.
Brian?
Man, I hate picking this game. This game is the worst game to pick. I don't like neither one of these offenses. And I really like the Steelers defense, but just because of what? Oh, God. Give me the Raiders. Oh, I hate even saying it. Give me the goddamn Raiders. But I already know I'm probably going to wear the hat because I know y'all going to pick the Steelers.
Herman?
Yeah, man. I was like, why are we picking this game? And I was like, oh, it's a Sunday night. And we ain't had no choice.
God.
3 weeks. I got the Steelers 3 weeks, huh?
Yeah. Like you said, this is terrible. Give me the Steelers because the Raiders, they're worse. I'm sorry. Josh McDaniels knows how to run a team into the ground, and he is showing you perfection in that right now. So give me the Steelers.
In this particular game, Steelers going to Vegas. I don't think we're gonna pull this one off. I'm taking the Raiders in this one, y'all.
You're just doing reverse psychology, is what you're doing. You don't really believe that.
I'm taking the
You're
Raiders.
doing reverse psychology, man. That's
taking
2 weeks in a
Raiders.
row. He think because he didn't pick them last week. Now he think if he don't pick them again this week, that they're gonna get another
I don't believe
win.
in my Steelers, man. What can I say?
Try.
All right, moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles. They're 2-0, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's also 2-0. One of these teams got to lose. The Eagles are minus 5 points in this one. In some Monday night, another double Monday night schedule. Herman, who you got in this one?
I'm going with the Bucks. Eagles going to take their first L in Tampa to Baker Field. Give me the Bucks, baby.
Marcus.
You know I'm not taking no doggone Bucks. Of course, I'm taking the Eagles. 3-0. Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
He wants to be an Eagles fan so bad. Just go ahead and switch over.
You know, this season I said the most intriguing team I want to see is the Bucks, and I want to see the quarterback do well. I think the Bucks will pull this game out. I'm taking the Bucks in this one, y'all. I'm doing the Bucks. Brian?
I don't know what y'all see, but I can't. I want them to. I truly want them to, but them damn Birds and Jalen, although he's shown a lot of weakness this year, they haven't lost that running game. And they're going to run the ball. They're going to play good defense. They're going to get out of there with a dub. Give me the Eagles.
All right. So our last Monday night game we have is the LA Rams coming to play against the Cincinnati Bengals. Rams are 1-1. The Bengals are 0-2. Bengals giving up 2.5 points in this one. Brian, I'll let you start us off. Who you got in this one?
Man, I'm actually going to take the Rams in this one. The Rams have been playing actually some pretty good offense. That dude, I can't think of his name. Number 17.
Nakuda.
Nakuda. I mean Cooper Kupp. What? We don't need you, dog. We got a Kuda. And I fear that the Bengals aren't going to have their starting quarterback. So give me the Rams. 0-3 for the Bengals.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one, Brian. I think Burrow's calf problem is going to still be persistent. I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to pull this one out myself. So I'm taking the Rams in this one. Marcus.
The Bengals. Well, it's all if Burrows play. If Burrows play, the Bengals are not going 0-3. The Rams are playing good football, but the Bengals are going to pull this out. They're not going 0-3. I'm picking the Bengals. That's if Burrow plays.
You do remember the Rams played the Niners tough for like 3 quarters.
Divisional game.
I know that, but I still.
All right, Herman, round us out. What you got? Who you got?
There's no way the Bengals are going 0-3. It's not going to happen. They will find a way to win at home on Monday night. Burrow gets an extra couple days to rest that calf. He'll be fine.
He had a whole preseason to rest that calf.
Give me the Bengals.
So we only have one lone wolf for next week.
Yeah.
Marcus.
Okay. That's cool.
I thought I was gonna have one.
Wait, did we all pick the Titans?
Yes.
We all picked the Titans.
Yeah.
Yep.
F them Browns.
All right. So we getting to the end of the show.
Only 15 minutes late.
Final thoughts for the day, you fellas?
Long-winded.
Who want to start off first?
I want to give a shout out to my producer, one of my best friends, and the very.
I'm trying to say something stupid. You don't need to hear what he gets. Final thoughts is ridiculous. See, my final thought, I'm gonna wish Brian a happy belated 50th birthday.
Yes. Happy belated birthday, Brian.
That never happened. That never happened.
Welcome to the 50 Club. Welcome to the 50 Club.
I missed it. I'm still 49.
Are you still in the 50 Club, Mark?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What you
Nothing.
say?
Nothing.
Don't make me come down to Texas, Herman.
Oh, thank y'all.
Herman, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah. Offensive coordinators are very important in the NFL. I just want to reiterate that a change in your offensive coordinator can make or break your team. That's all.
Hey, I do want to say something though, for real.
Yeah, exactly. Offensive coordinator can make it.
I want to apologize to everybody in Delay Game. I've been promising to put up a post to get you guys on the show, and I have not done it. This is my last time to say it on the show. It will be in the group before I do the next show.
Thank you, sir. All right, Marcus, take us out.
Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Delay Game. We're also on Twitter at Delay of Game 3 and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. I'll be so happy when these Bama's season is over. This is just terrible.
I want to see these stars when they lose their first game.
That's right. And when they actually play somebody, and then they're gonna put up 80 this week against the Cardinals and still all this nonsense.
Mark, all the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
All right, Marcus.
Same bad time. Peace. We out.